to my channel. So real quick, I'm going to pick a different story than that one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do this part called Stupid Love, because it reminds me of Stupid with Love, and yeah. I mean, who's in Stupid with Love sometimes? You should really go follow this person on Wattpad. They're pretty cool. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start now. Also near the end of the video there'll be some art, so be ready. Lance had to admit that sometimes he hated love. It was so complicated, and at the same time, could be something so simple that it was insane. He hated the fact that he could be so absolutely enthralled by a person he hadn't even known that long. Lance had been thrown into this space race nearly, what was it? A week ago? Maybe a few days ago? Maybe a few days, and it felt like a week. He had lost track. It felt like years. Maybe the thing was he'd been experience were irrational. Oh my god, my reading's gonna be shit. It's 2 in the morning. I should really be asleep, but my girlfriend says I'm asleep. You know what, who gives a shit? A week wasn't supposed to be that long enough to become absolutely attached to a human being. Heck. No. Wait, 1 second. I wanna check that. Sorry. Wait. Was he just being desperate? He was just a hormonal teenager lost in space. God, it was all so confusing. Lance sat up in bed, feeling his stomach a little queasy. But that wasn't the first thing he thought upon consciousness. No, far from it. He didn't even notice how sore his arms were, what the day was, or the time. A stupid little brain of him went to that person, the person he'd only truly known for a week, but was head over heels over. When Lance woke up, the first thing he thought about was them, and then pain. The pain it brought to his heart. They were the first thing he thought about when he awoke, and the last thing he thought about when he fell asleep. Oh my god, this is me with my girlfriend. And the last thing he thought about when he fell asleep, it was the most painful thing ever. Good pain. He glanced over at his helmet, wondering if anyone was awake and listening. Sometimes the others were on at ungodly hours. What time was it? Lance put his helmet on at 3:11 a.m. and wouldn't take it off until after 4 a.m. And you know what? He didn't have a problem with it at all. It made his heart swell and his mood soar. His human was awake. Maybe they were both sleepy, but that was all right. Their brains kept awake for one another and woke the other up for the other. It was crazy and hella cliche. They talked for a while. As they did, Lance could talk to this person for hours and wouldn't ever tire. He talked about anything and everything. The blue-eyed boy only knew him for a week, but it felt like years. like they had known each other for 83 years. But everything must come to an end. People needed sleep. For many reasons, to get better, to feel better. Lance said goodnight. He took off his helmet and set it aside as he's still grinning. Always, he shimmied down under his sheets, nuzzling his face into his pillow inside. His heart had a good kind of hurt. The paladin wanted nothing more than to admit everything to this very special person. They sort of had during the hour-long chat. Lance was into this person, so absolutely into him that it hurt. They clouded his mind and wouldn't leave. He was hook, line, and sinker. Lance didn't mind. He hated drugs, but for some reason it didn't matter now. But God, he was addicted for this being. Yeah, it had only been 4 weeks. Lance glanced at his helmet, wondering if they were still awake, like he was. Probably not. Beauty sleep is necessary. Even Lance knew that one, even if most of the time he laughed on the subject. He felt tears well in his eyes. He shifted, so he was hugging his pillow with the blankets over his shoulder. Shit, shit, shit. Frick, frick, frick. Lance was screwed, bolted. Oh shit. Lance was screwed, bolted to a wall. He was stuck there, and for some reason he was thinking of a carton, the sponge that he watched as a kid. He smiled as he thought of Fraps. Wow, minds really go everywhere at this time in the morning. 4:43 a.m. Tears trickled down his cheeks. He was grinning so wide. He tried to keep quiet. The other paladins were in rooms nearby. He was a mess. Please? I think that's supposed to be please. Please have mercy on his soul. Lance was probably gonna be slapped for saying this, but this was the only way he could express it. If anyone could hear the thoughts he expressed, they would be so confused, and they probably are. But that person knows the true meaning behind all of his nonsense. Love is a funny thing. It's an uncontrollable love. Love, which Lance remembered Googling once. An intense feeling of affection, a person or thing that one loves. Now, Lance knew Google wasn't as he thought it had been by far, because sure, that was a part of love, but it wasn't what love really was. Love, defined by Lance, a choice to act in the best interest of the object of your love. That was love. Lance would do absolutely anything for this human, and he was so damned. But that was fine. They deserved every bit of it. Every good thing in the world he loved about them. Imperfectly perfect, the blue paladin liked to call it. There was no denying it. He felt tears start to slow, and Lance's heart started to hurt, not so much. He didn't have to be with this person in order to love them or care. Sure, it was nice, but it wasn't mandatory. Oh my God. As long as Lance still had them to talk to or wake up to, stay awake at awful hours, had their words to comfort him in times of need. There was no one else. As long as Lance had this person to talk to for hours on end just to prove he knew all the lyrics to an impossible song. As long as Lance had this person, even just as a friend, as a partner in crime, Lance thought it sounded pretty okay. It was more than pretty okay. He wouldn't be in such as a bad place as he self-deprecated. Wouldn't be so strong. Lance had someone, and he focused on that. Did he mention he was screwed? Yeah, Lance was screwed. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you some of my really bad art that's saved to my phone. So, yeah, this is the first one. It's 5 minutes. But yeah, then this one, also they're all of one character because I have a real obsession, but that's really it. I hope you enjoyed your time with me, I guess. And perhaps another day, another time, you'll join me again. Or not, I don't really know. Everyone has their own life, but I'll catch you later or not.